The city of Blackwood has always been known for its eerie legends, but none are as terrifying as the story of the abandoned Blackwood station. Hidden on the outskirts, the station was shut down decades ago, yet strange occurrences still haunt the place. Locals whisper about a ghostly train that arrives at exactly 3:15 a.m. every Friday the 13th. Anyone who boards is never seen again. One stormy night, a young journalist named Ethan Carter decided to uncover the truth behind the legend. Armed with his camera and recorder, he ventured to Blackwood Station, determined to capture evidence of the paranormal. The station was in ruins, broken windows, rusted tracks, and an eerie silence. Graffiti covered the walls, and the old clock above the entrance was frozen at 3:15. As the wind howled through the empty platform, Ethan set up his camera. Hours passed with nothing unusual until 3:15 a.m. struck. The air turned ice cold. A thick fog rolled in, and suddenly, the distant sound of a train whistle echoed through the night. Ethan's heart pounded as he saw a train emerging from the mist, an old black locomotive with flickering lanterns. The engine let out a ghastly hiss as it came to a stop at the platform. The doors creaked open, revealing an empty interior, except for dimly lit seats and a conductor dressed in an old-fashioned uniform. His face was obscured by shadows, but his voice was chillingly clear. All aboard, the final journey. Ethan hesitated. The stories couldn't be real. This had to be a trick. But then he noticed something horrifying. His own reflection in the train's windows was missing. Panic gripped him, but his curiosity overpowered his fear. He stepped inside. The moment he did, the doors slammed shut. The train lurched forward, and outside the windows, the world blurred into an endless void. The station, the city, everything disappeared. The seats were now occupied, not by people, but by lifeless, shadowy figures, their hollow eyes staring into nothingness. The conductor walked towards Ethan, his face finally visible, a grotesque, decayed grin stretching across a skeletal face. "Once you board, there is no return. Welcome to the Blackwood Express. Your final destination is the afterlife." Ethan screamed, but no sound came out. The train sped into the unknown, fading into the darkness of the void. Ethan gripped the walls of the train, trying to find a way out. The more he walked, the longer the hallway stretched. The lights flickered, revealing quick glimpses of shadowy figures standing behind him, but each time he turned around, they vanished. A distorted voice echoed through the speakers. "You shouldn't have come here, Ethan. Now you belong to the train." The walls started bleeding, thick black liquid oozing from the cracks. The passengers, once lifeless shadows, slowly turned their heads towards Ethan. Their mouths stretched open unnaturally, emitting a droning, agonized wail. The train's interior began to shift. Seats twisted into bones. The floor pulsated like living flesh. Ethan ran toward the doors, banging against them. Suddenly, a pair of cold, skeletal hands grabbed his shoulders. The conductor stood behind him, his eyes glowing red, his grin splitting wider, revealing rows of jagged teeth. "You can't leave, Ethan. The train feeds on fear. And now, you are part of it." Ethan's body felt heavier, as if something was pulling him into the floor. His skin began turning gray, his fingers elongating. He was becoming one of them. He screamed one last time before his vision went black. The next morning, Blackwood Station was as abandoned as ever. Ethan's camera was found lying on the platform, covered in dust, as if it had been there for decades. The footage showed nothing but static, except for a faint, ghostly whisper. "All aboard. Your turn is next." The legend of the ghost train continues, waiting for its next passenger. The end.